It is Saturday, January 22nd in the NBA, and I'm back with my best bet of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, gather around because we need to recap yesterday. And we have a special guest on the show today, someone you've seen time and time again this season. Allow me to introduce you to the Broom. And yes, yesterday, a 5-0 sweep. Adding on to yesterday when we had 1-0, 6-0 over our last 2 days. A minor victory, lap as Joel Embiid, Ja Morant, Jimmy Butler, added play DeJounte Murray. And by the slimmest margin, the over in the Blazers versus Celtics game. Congrats to the Celtics, who didn't score a single basket over the final 7 minutes and 18 seconds, trying to sell us as hard as they could. Hopefully we helped you guys make some money. I've seen a ton of people following us on Twitter, so I appreciate you guys for joining the community. And of course, I saw a ton of winning tickets. You guys sent me your parlays and all that stuff. So I love to help you guys out, make some money. If you guys are new to the channel, consider clicking that subscribe button down below. Maybe we can hit 21,000 subscribers today. That would be absolutely unreal. I'm not going to ask you guys for tips. I don't want them. I only ask is that 1, you subscribe to the channel, 2, you like the video, and 3, you can just watch the ads. That's all I ask for. We have a deal? Shake on it? All right, perfect. You guys just watch those ads and we're all good. We call it square even. Now do yourselves a favor, and we have our best bets for Saturday in the NFL. We're talking Bengals, Titans, 49ers, Packers. Our best bets for those 2 games is live on the channel. It was posted yesterday morning, so definitely go check that out. It's linked in the description and linked at the end of the video, so definitely go check it out. Now, number 2, Sunday's best bets in the NFL, where we're talking about the Bills, Chiefs, and the Bucks, Rams. That'll be live at 10 a.m. Eastern time later this morning. Might not be live by the time you're watching this video, and you guys can go check that one out. It'll also be linked at the end of the video once it is live. So definitely go check that video out. Turn on the bell on the video on the channel so that you don't miss out on it, because some of those lines are going to move pretty quickly, as we see with player props time in and time again. Now, finally, let's talk about today's slate in the NBA. We just have 3 games on today, so I have to say, do not force a ton of bets today. Honestly, I love the slate tomorrow. So we got a great video planned for tomorrow, but today we're not going to force a lot of bets. There's several teams out there I don't like betting on, aka Sacramento Kings. Now, today I'll have just 1 pick, and that's all we're going to roll with. So we're going to start with the best bet of the day, the best bet of the segment of the day, which is on a 29-10 run. If we hit this one, we'll be on a 75% run over our last 40 picks. And if you're a frequent viewer, you honestly didn't even need to watch the video today, because you know exactly who we're going to. A guy that's been nothing but nice, nothing but a true gentleman to the Call on Our Shot community, and his name is Darius Garland. And we're taking his over 34.5 PRAs, minus 105 on Caesars. Garland getting a little bit more respect. He's been having like a 31, 32.5 PRA line, up to 34.5. I have to say, gather around, everyone, because we've got to say a prayer and hope that Rajon Rondo is inactive today. Currently a game time decision with his hamstring injury. As we know, Rondo has missed the last 5 games. And Garland, well, he set the over in all 5 games. Is that a coincidence? No, because he's the main point guard on this team. Now, look at it. They're taking on a similar opponent in the Oklahoma City Thunder, team they just played exactly a week ago, last Saturday. Garland, I mean, we think about the OKC Thunder. They kept that game close, only losing by 5 points. Garland played 37 minutes. He had an all right game, just 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 18 assists. I mean, that's all right. That's what we grow to expect from Garland, 27 and 18. Yeah, that's what he does. But look, the Thunder had no answer for him, and the man was just on an absolute mission. He did shoot 1 for 7 from 3, so maybe, come on, Garland, you're better than that. 1 for 7, come on, man. Now, my only concern here, truthfully, is the Thunder keeping this game close. Now, like I said, they played at home last time, and they won by 5. Well, they lost by 5 points. Today's spread, 12.5, the over under 209.5 points. It's the only thing concerning. Now, we do look at the Thunder. The last 2 games, well, they haven't gotten it close. They've lost by 23 and 22 points. But we've seen the opposing point guards have great days. We saw Terry Rozier last night, 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists for 38 PRAs. Cashing this over if this was his line. We also saw LaMelo Ball have a near triple-double. Both those guys played 31 and 26 minutes, respectively. The game before that, and as a team whole, the Hornets had 34 assists. Now, as a team whole, if we look at the game before that, when they played the San Antonio Spurs, DeJounte Murray, hopefully I pronounced it right, hopefully I didn't, I don't really care. He had 23 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists for 47 PRAs in just 30 minutes of game time. So, look, Garland, we could see only 30 minutes today. If this game is close, we could see closer to 35 to 40, which would be awesome. Over the last 15 games, the Thunder have allowed these most points or most assists per game to opposing point guards at 11.52 per game. Almost a full assist above every other team in the NBA, which is ridiculous. So if you want to pivot to a Darius Garland double-double, I don't hate that today. Garland has averaged 22.6 assist chances over his last 10 games, and he's been on, or over his last 5 games without Rondo. He's been on an absolute tear. And so Garland, like Joel Embiid, he would never hurt us, right? So we're relying on a trusty COS supporter. I think we can count on him to do it again. Like, look, we just need Rajon Rondo out today. It's not a necessity, but it certainly will help this bet cash in because Rajon Rondo likes to take the ball out of Darius Garland's hands and pretends that he's 10 years ago Rajon Rondo with the Boston Celtics. So either way, he did return to practice yesterday. Don't see him playing a ton of minutes today. They don't play again until Monday, so they maybe get him some more rest, get him fully healthy before you bring him back. And Darius Garland, we trust, over 34.5 PRAs. Now, that's my only official play of the game, but let's talk about every single other game and kind of give you my overall thoughts and opinions. And we're going to start with the first game on the slate, the Kings versus the Bucks. The Bucks currently being 9.5-point favorites, over under 230.5 points. Now, at the time of recording this, 6:17 a.m. Eastern time, I have no idea who's starting for either of these two teams, especially the Bucks, because this is a team that loves to play around and rest a ton of guys on the second half of a back-to-back. Obviously, yesterday, they beat the Bulls in a game that was much closer than it probably should have been as they won 94-90. Now, and I believe Tyrese Halliburton is back. He said, per sources himself, that he has cleared health and safety protocols, should be back again today. And the guy I look at, if I had to make a bet in this game, and I hope he gets a line, is Terrence Davis. Call him TD. And look, I know he doesn't have the greatest lines with Halliburton active. Moral of the story for this Kings team, led by Alvin Gentry now after firing Luke Walton, they want guys that are going to be hungry. And you could argue there's a lot of hidden motivations on this team, like De'Aaron Fox potentially getting traded, Buddy Hield potentially getting traded. Buddy Hield attempted like 2 shots last game. We see a guy like Terrence Davis, very aggressive, and this is a guy that wants his minutes, a guy that's earned his minutes. And over the last 2 games, he's dropped 17 and 35 points respectively. This guy is going to play hard. We obviously know this Bucks defense. Obviously, we don't really know exactly who's starting, but they give up a ton of threes per game, the second most in the NBA, I believe. And I don't see this being a big De'Aaron Fox game. As you know, you look at the Bucks' interior defense, one of the best in the league, though we still don't know who they're starting today. But either way, Davis is going to get into his minutes, and he's going to shoot a ton of threes. So maybe sprinkle something on that. Last game he played against the Milwaukee Bucks, only played 23 minutes, saw 27 points, shooting, I believe, 7 for 10 from 3. So this guy that's going to shoot a bunch when he gets his minutes, and I think he'll get some minutes today. So I don't really have a spread pick for this one because, you know, I don't know exactly. The Bucks would rest all 5 of their starters for all I know. That wouldn't surprise me at all. They're going to probably be resting Grayson Allen. What the heck was that? All right, that's irrelevant. Moving on to the second game, we already talked about this. Thunder versus Cavaliers. And look, the Cavs, 12.5-point favorites, over under 209.5 points. You know, we love Darius Garland, and we all do. We love him. But we could look at guys like Jared Allen. I think he gets a double-double today. We look at Evan Mobley. I think he has a pretty decent game. The Thunder they don't have any interior defense. This is a team that's been starting Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I know you guys are like, who the heck's that? I'm sure he cashes points versus rebounds over, but I know people in the Discord had that. But either way, look, the last time these two teams played a week ago, Mobley had 20 points. Jared Allen only 13, did chip in 13 rebounds. I won't touch much on the Thunder side because I have no idea what that team is doing. Maybe a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over an assist because we see him drive a ton. We obviously know he leads the league in NBA, leads the NBA in drives per game at like 24 per game. But look at that interior defense for the Cavaliers. Very hard to finish over them. As we saw, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot like 7 for 21 or something along those lines the last time these two teams played. So in that game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 7 assists. I imagine his line comes out to 5.5 today. They never put it normally higher than that. He's been hitting that pretty consistently. So take a look at that one. Now, the last game on the slate is the Pacers versus the Suns. Suns minus 11.5, over under 217.5 points. Now, if there was another bet I had to take today, it was going to be this one. Mikal Bridges under 2.5 assists. Problem is, this is juiced as heck. This is like minus 150 at the lowest on PointsBet, and a lot of you guys don't have a PointsBet account. It's like minus 165 or worse on every single other book. So let's talk about it. I'm not going to play it. I'm only taking Darius Garland. But over his last 15 games, we've seen Mikal Bridges average just 3.8 assist chances per game. And in those games, he's really rarely gone over this line. Now, he would need, even if I had 4 assist chances today, which would be over his average, he needs to hit 75% of those assists to cash this over. Now, you look at it, he's had 3+ assists cashing the over in only 13 of 44 games this season. They'll be without, again, DeAndre Ayton. And in 16 games without Ayton this season, he's gone under in 14 of them. Now, last game, sure, he had 6 assists. He had 5 potential assists. No idea how that calculates out, but still something to monitor. I don't really want to force a play into this game. You guys know I don't like trusting the Pacers. This is a team that just steals your money, whether you want to bet on them or bet against them. This is a team that is untrustworthy. We obviously don't know who's starting. I believe Domantas Sabonis is out. Who knows if they rest Karis LeVert, Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner's out. Play Goga Badance. Maybe he'll headbutt someone else. Who knows what the heck's going on with the Pacers? I don't want any bit to touch with this game. This game's disgusting, and I'd rather just stick to my one pick of the day, Darius Garland over 34.5 PRAs. There's no reason to force a pick into this. I know you guys, some of you out there are degenerates, so go with it. We'll go whatever you want, but it's not a great slate in the NBA. Got some good ones tomorrow. Hint, hint, Joel Embiid against the Spurs. That might be in the video tomorrow, you'll see. I strongly advise you guys don't play any JaVale McGee lines either because they love playing Bismack Biyombo. It's a very weird team in Phoenix, and I just don't want to touch that game whatsoever. So my one pick of the day, my best bet of the day, Darius Garland over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Say a prayer that Mr. Rajon Rondo doesn't play. Hope you guys have a great Saturday. Hope we have another great day. Hopefully we can bring out the brooms for a 1-0 sweep. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't do too much. Don't force too much today. It's a bad slate. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. We're going to change the scenery. But obviously check out those best bets in the NFL. They are linked on the screen when they are live. Obviously one of them is already live. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.